Hi everyone, so here is a video on how to use the Holographic Superfine glitters with gel polish. So I've done a few different ways here. So we're starting off with a gel polish and glitter fade. So I'm working on practice tips, but obviously if you're working on your client, you would either buff your acrylic or hard gel or prep the natural nail as usual. I'm then applying a base colour, and I'm using this just a nice soft kind of feminine delicate pink. I'm going to apply my first coat and then I'm curing that for 30 seconds LED. I will make sure that in the description box there is all the different colours I've used today, so you can have a little look there. I'm applying a second coat because we're only doing a glitter fade. I'm making sure that the base colour, has a nice coverage. So I'll definitely want to do the 2 or 3 coats that your gel polish requires to make sure it's got full coverage. I'm then going to cure that for 60 seconds in my LED lamp. And then once that's cured, I'm going to use the pigment brushes, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of glitter on that pigment brush. And I'm just going to place just along the top there. So I'm only using a little bit, and then I'm brushing off the excess from that brush, and then I'm just very lightly dragging it down the nail. So obviously if you're working on natural nails, you would need maybe 1 or 2 millimeters near the cuticle area. Brush off the excess on your brush and then gently pull down. I then cure that for 10 to 20 seconds in the light. I'm then going to put a coat of Megamix over the top. So this is a slightly thicker gel. It's kind of almost like a builder gel in a bottle, but it is a soft gel, so suitable for use on natural nails with gel polish underneath. And I'm going to apply a layer of that, and I use this for encapsulating my glitters because it's a little bit thicker than gel polish top coat, so you get a nice smooth finish. I've cured that for 30 seconds. I'm going to chase my tip around the kitchen towel, and then I'm going to pop my Amaze Glaze, which is the top coat on, and I'm going to cure that in the LED lamp for 30 seconds, and then I will remove the tacky layer. So that is just a nice simple gel polish with superfine glitter fade for you there. Now the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to use the silver holographic superfine glitter, and I'm going to use it over 3 different base colours so you can get an idea of the different kind of tones you will get depending on the base colour you use. So with the first one I'm going to use a black. Now with this I'm not going to use 2 coats, I'm just going to use 1 coat. As you can see, it's not perfect coverage, it just needs to be a rough base for the colour. Then the next one I'm going to use is a grey, so that's almost matching that silver. And again, doesn't need to be full coverage, just 1 coat, and it doesn't matter if it's a bit see-through in places. You just need that, rough base. Because if you put too many coats on, it's going to really bulk up your manicure. And then the final colour I'm going to use is a white gel polish. And again, I don't need perfect coverage, just need that rough base to then be able to brush that glitter into. And all of these are being cured for 60 seconds in my LED light. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to load my brush with glitter, and I'm going to then pat it down onto the nail. So I load up my brush, and then I'm going to pat at a 90-degree angle onto the nail, and I pat until I'm happy that there is a good coverage. And then I will take my brush and pull it up and down the nail to really scrub that glitter in and also get rid of any excess glitter. I'm then going to cure that for 10 to 20 seconds in my lamp. I always cure my glitter, my superfine especially, in the lamp before putting any Megamix or top coat on, because if you don't cure it and you go straight on with top coat, it can drag a bit of it away. So I always pop it in the lamp so give it a chance to kind of cure and set in a bit, and then I will encapsulate it. As you can see, you can't really see the colour coming through underneath, but you can see the different tones it will make. So if you put silver over white, it tends to look almost, I always think, a bit of like a Disney princess kind of fairy tale silver, very twinkly and very light. Whereas over the black, it looks a bit dark, a bit deeper in colour. So I thought this would just be a good way to show you the differences in tones you can get. So from one pot you can get lots of different tones of colours. So this is cured for 10 to 20 seconds. I'm then coming in with my Megamix, applying an ice layer. I do kind of float this layer over because I want it to end up really super smooth and really encapsulate that glitter. So that was the black, and then I'm going to do the grey and the white. And once those have all cured for 30 seconds, I'm then going to pop my Amaze Glaze on, and I will cure that for 30 seconds as well. And when they're all cured, I'm going to remove that tacky layer, and I'm just going to lay them next to one another so you again can get an idea of the slightly different shades and tones you can get by doing a different base colour. So there you go, and that is just a full colour nail. Okay, and so next I'm going to do an ombre, and this is one of my favourite ones. This is using the hot pink and the purple Superfine. This is a lovely, bright, really girly ombre. So I'm going to start off with a base of a nice hot pink. Normally I would use a matching colour or black when I do an ombre with this. White sometimes doesn't make the colours pop as much. White works well with like silver, but with the other colours I would definitely say to use a black or a matching colour. So I'm popping it on, I've cured that for 60 seconds, and then I'm starting on my base colour, and again I'm going at a 90-degree angle and dabbing that onto the nail, brushing off the excess of that colour, and then I'm again 90-degree angle with my other colour from the top, and then I'm going to brush down. And I'm going to do a second layer, so you start again 90-degree angle with that purple, and then a 90-degree angle with the hot pink, and then brushing up and down that nail, so you get a really nice blend between the two colours there. And as you can see, that fades beautifully from purple to pink. I will then, as I've done with all the others, cure for 10 to 20 seconds in the lamp, and then I'm going to come on with my Megamix and I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds in my lamp, making sure I float that top coat over, sorry, the Megamix over, making sure I float that coat over to make sure everything's well covered and it's all nice and smooth. And then once that's cured in the lamp, I'm going to come in with my top coat and cure that for 30 seconds, and then I will remove that tacky layer. And there you have it, that's just a simple 2-colour ombre. And now we're going to do a little 3-colour ombre. So just buffing that tip just to make sure it's nice and rough so that my gel polish will stick to it. And I'm going to start with a base colour, again one that is going to match the ombre I'm doing. So with this one I'm doing a green and blue ombre, so I'm going to use a nice kind of minty, spearminty green as the base. Again, not worrying about putting a couple of coats on, just putting one coat, so I've just got a very rough base, doesn't need to be perfect coverage. And then I'm going to cure that for 60 seconds in my LED lamp. And then for this I am using Apple, Mint and Peacock, so I'm going to start on the tip with the darkest colour and I'm using Peacock here. So at a 90-degree angle, just pushing that in to the gel polish. Then before moving on to the next colour, dusting off the excess on my kitchen towel and then picking up on my brush and then at a 90-degree angle slipping it in to the gel polish. Dusting off the excess, picking up that apple and then slipping it on at 90 degree and then doing nice long strokes down that nail to blend it all in. Then going to do my second coat, starting at the top, middle, and then tip, and then nice long strokes up and down that nail to really blend in. And then I'll be popping that in the lamp for 10 to 20 seconds. Then I'm going to float a layer of Megamix over that. Then I'm curing that for 30 seconds LED, and then I'm going to pop on my top coat, my Amaze Glaze, and then that will cure for 30 seconds LED before I then have to remove the inhibition layer. Make sure whenever you're top coating, make sure you thoroughly cap those edges. And there you have it, so that's a nice 3-colour ombre. And here we have the final nail. I'm going to be doing a textured nail. So I'm using a base colour that matches the Rose Superfine glitter. I'm applying one coat of that base layer and then curing in the lamp for 30 seconds. I'm then going to apply a tack-free top coat. Now it is important that you apply a top coat that you don't have to wipe so it comes out of the lamp and it's not sticky, because you're not going to cure this, you're going to apply this to the nail and then you're going to sprinkle that glitter on there. So you need to make sure you have a good coverage but not too thick, so keep that nice and thin, that top coat, just make sure it's all well covered. And then I just use a cuticle pusher to scoop up the glitter, and I just sprinkle it on the nail. So sprinkle it on, and then you just tap off the excess. Now when you're doing this on your client, obviously don't smack them really hard with a metal tool, just give them a little tap and the glitter will just come running off. So I like to make sure I've really gone over it, make sure I've got all the edges. I often also pick up the cuticle pusher full of glitter and just kind of press it around the edges of the nails as well. And then I'm going to cure that in the lamp. Now I always do a double cure for textured nails, so I cured that for 120 seconds LED, but then I brush off the excess and we're all done. So that doesn't need top coating and that will stay put. So there you go guys, there's a few different ideas of how to use the Holographic Superfine Glitter in gel polish. So thanks for tuning in. Any questions, comments, requests?